You've heard of firewalls, right? Of course you have. They're a staple of online security. But there's another, kind of specialized guard standing watch over our most valuable data. It's called a Web Application Firewall, or a WAF for short. And figuring out what it does is really key to understanding how we stay safe online today.
So, a WAF, is that just a fancy name for the same old firewall we all know about? It's a totally fair question, and honestly, the difference is super important, so let's get into it. Well, not exactly. Think of it like this. A traditional firewall is kind of like a bouncer at the main entrance of a building. As you can see here, its job is to check IDs, network stuff like IP addresses and ports, to decide who even gets in. But a WAF, that's more like a highly trained security guard standing right in front of the bank vault. It operates at the application layer, looking at the content of what people are saying and doing to stop really specific threats like SQL injections, things a normal firewall wouldn't even notice.
So, to put it simply, a WAF is a really, really smart filter. It doesn't just check where traffic is coming from. It actually understands the language of the web. HTTP requests, what someone's typing into a form, what a URL is trying to do. And because it gets that language, it can spot and shut down these complex attacks designed to trick the application itself.
And what's really cool here is where it does its job. Just look at this diagram. The WAF sits right there in the middle, between you, the user, and the web application. It's the ultimate gatekeeper, inspecting every single request before it gets anywhere near the app's code. So how does that work in practice? Well, it usually acts as something called a reverse proxy. Just imagine every single request from a user has to pass through this one inspection checkpoint first. The WAF takes a look, checks it against a list of security rules, and if anything looks even a little bit shady, like it's trying to sneak in some bad code, bam, it's blocked right there. Only the good, clean traffic gets the green light to go through to the application.
Okay, so we get what it is and how it works. But why is this so important? I mean, why are companies so focused on this specific type of protection?
Here's the bottom line. The application layer is where the crown jewels are kept. We're talking about customer records, credit card numbers, all that personal data. For any online store, any bank, any service you use, protecting this layer is absolutely non-negotiable if they want to prevent a massive data breach.
And this isn't just about being extra cautious. For a lot of businesses, it's a strict requirement. See that PCI DSS logo? That's the security standard for literally any company that handles credit card payments. So for them, having a WAF isn't just a smart move, it's a fundamental part of staying in business and keeping that data safe. This all sounds pretty amazing, right? But does this mean if a company just installs a WAF, they can kick back and relax, knowing they're completely secure?
Yeah, if only it were that simple. The short answer is not quite. A WAF is definitely a star player, but it's part of a team. The best security strategy is called defense in depth, and it's all about having layers. You've got your traditional firewall, you've got secure coding practices, you've got regular vulnerability checks, all working together. A WAF is an absolutely crucial layer, but it's always going to be strongest when it's not the only layer.
And that really leaves us with one last question to think about. It's not about finding one single unbreakable wall. It's about building layers of defense. So the real question to ask is, how many layers are protecting your most important information?